apparently, a film critic said that this upcoming Thor movie, which I guess comes out probably tonight that I'm reviewing this, but it's the gayest movie. And having not seen it, I already labeled it as that. But it's the gayest Marvel movie yet. And there was a film critic by the name of Andrew Freund who concurred, or rather, he said that, he claimed that, and Natalie Portman herself, who was playing She-Thor, is really like agreed with the sentiment as documented here. Film critic, he asked Portman, who stars in the movie, if it's the gayest movie ever made in the MCU. I love that reading of it. The actress responded with a smile. Yes, I love that. I mean, you're on flying rainbows, or am I imagining it? Says front. Well, that's talking about, all right, whatever. I mean, that is the core of the comic she's referring to. Look, you're talking about the Rainbow Bridge or something like that, because apparently, man, the fact that they were allowed to hijack the rainbow was, man, that was impressive. She said, I feel that's where it all started. That's true to the source material, of course. Now, he thought that the movie was awesome, and he added that, this is Andrew, the critic, he loved how gay it was. That's literally what he says. That is the quote. A rather rough review of the film published by The Hollywood Reporter noted the so-called queer inclusion of Thor, Love and Thunder as well. Apparently Korg's gay. Valkyrie, we knew because that was going to be a self-insert from, what's her name, Tessa Thompson. So she was going to be bisexual despite her being Brunhild. So a lot of the documentation, and that's to be expected. Look, that's not unlike what we had saw with some of even the other movies that have recently come out, where they emphasize through their promotional tours the diversity element of it. So it's not unlikely that the shield for film critic, and I'm not even trying to rag on Portman here, because Portman's just like, I gotta say all the right things. So he thought it was gay, and she likes that that's his reading of it, and that she's just saying whatever. But it's not unsurprising that a film critic or multiple film critics would come out and they'd be like, hey, this is really gay. And because of that, it's the best thing ever, or we actually like it, or they're going to give it plus points because of its inclusivity and all of that, which anytime that happens, you're in trouble. You have some of these film critics, as noted right here, staying in the same diversity vein. This Freund asked Portman in the same interview how she felt about little girls wearing Mighty Thor costumes. It's the same old representation thing. It's incredible. It's such a privilege to be in that world, she said. And it's also wonderful to be in an era where there's so many female superheroes. That already was a thing. That I think girls don't have to be like, oh, there's one girl, and that's the one I am. This is the thing that I don't. And remember, this is a chick who starred in one of the, wasn't she in all three movies? I'm a Star Wars Norman, so chat, help me out. Wasn't she in all three of them? And that was decades ago. Well, yeah, we're probably closing in 2 decades ago. So you already played a female character that had some prominence, that was in a fantasy kind of element, if you will. What are you talking about? This thing with Hollywood where they think of themselves as way more important than they are, and then they try to apply this set of traits that, well, it's our era, we're doing this, as if we hadn't already seen this. You're reinventing the wheel here, bro. We've already seen. This isn't like the new era of female. We've seen female superheroes for decades, bro. What are you talking about? There's like so many that they can choose from and relate to based on their personality or their, superpowers, or even as their weaknesses, that they can figure out who they fit as a human and not just feel like they have to find their demographic, like, alignment. Well, that's kind of contradictory to the previous statement. I'd agree with that statement. Not in the sense that, well, you guys started this, or something that this movie is particularly doing, or this like last couple of years. But if people can find interest, no matter what their alignment is, that could transcend also gender, right? As in, like, female characters can find a male character to relate to, or male characters can like a female character. See, I love this because what Hollywood and modern entertainment does is they show how not just clueless that they are, but sometimes you'll get a smidgen of the truth in what it is that they say, or what they're trying to present themselves as. But it's something that has already been accomplished, right? It's already been done before. I do believe that part of being in Hollywood is that you have to have some sort of narcissism about you. Well, you actually think the world, it's like a prerequisite for being in Hollywood. The only problem with that is, well, there's many problems with being a narcissist. But when you deny the objective reality of a situation, that's the fundamental issue. Is that you try to present yourself as this person that you are not. This hero that you're not, and that you will never be. But you have this bit of self-importance about you, and you just can't get over that. This is why actors and actresses and producers and all these people feel like, well, I have to lead with diversity, inclusion, representation, all these other buzz terms, because I want people to understand how important I am to this cause. And I hate to get too deep with this, but it's the truth. And that I think that these people are actually bad because of it, or that's a bad trait. Because what you do is, and parents, unfortunately, for some of these folks have this same thing, where they teach kids how to be shallow. Where they teach children to validate them, the adults, but they teach these children that basically you cannot relate to other human beings outside of gender, outside of race, outside of sexuality, outside of all of these other things. And to that I say, what the hell? Because for an individual to be an individual, there'd have to be more things that are interesting than that sort of superficial stuff. If that's all there is to you, you are a loser and you're boring. And the fact that they're instilling this principle, if you will, where that person has to look to, if they want to find influence, if they want to find some sort of inspiration, they have to go make sure that they find someone that is the same color as them, that is the same race, that is fits the same exact alignment that they have. And it's like, bro, there's more to you as an individual than that. And that's all I'm saying. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.